Alright guys, well welcome to a video segment that I never dreamed I would ever be able to provide for you guys. Today it is 1 degree out, -1 degree, depends on where you're at with the truck thermometer, but we are heading up the road and I'm going to take you on a tour of our new farm. Emily and I was able to purchase a farm. It kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't something that we had planned on doing. It wasn't something that we were looking to do. But my neighbor, landowner up the road, approached me and was wanting to get this farm sold. And we prayed about it for a few weeks, and it all happened pretty fast. And now Emily and I and our family are the owners of a farm. So I'm not even sure what else to say about it besides that. It's always been a dream of ours, or of mine, to own my own farm. And this farm's really cool for what we can do with it. It's really rough ground. It's an old cattle pasture. It's got a ton of cedars, a ton of hedge. It's got a ton of freaking Russian olive. It's got a bunch of honeysuckle. It's really rough. Really rough. But with that being said, it also provides a lot of opportunity for manipulation of it in the future. Right now we are going to farm part of it, and we are still going to have cows in on part of it, and then after this year we're going to go from there. But the other thing I'd like to show you is, you can see on the aerial on Hunt Stand, the farm kind of splits in half, and in the past that wouldn't have attracted me very much, but the thing that I feel so cool about it now is that provides us like a family area in the front where we can enjoy the farm as a family, and also provide more of a hunting area in the back during deer season, to where we can be here during deer season and enjoy the farm but not really mess up our deer hunting. So that's really important, at least for me, because a lot of my stuff with our family, I'm so picky about it that we don't always enjoy the woods to the property to the fullest, because I'm worried about messing the deer up, which I've learned over the years is not the way to be. So anyway, we're just pulling in now. I'll show you. My dad and I come out here and set a little cabin up for the kids. It's an old wall tent sitting right over here in these hedge trees that my dad and I built when I was a sophomore in high school, and I just remembered that we had it. So I'll show you that, and then we'll talk about the farm a little more. So as you can see, it's real thick in here. You can see around here, it's all cedars and hedge. This is what the whole farm looks like. Very rough, but it'll be great for deer hunting. See, here's our little cabin. It's like 14 by 10. It's a wall tent that we built in sections to fit in the back of the truck. So you can see in here, pretty sweet. Got all our stuff in here for working up here. Place for the kids to play, and if you turn around, we got our fire pit. A little bit of firewood. See, I got a brush pile there I've been clearing. Here's nice use for the old lifelines. They make great ropes for sledding, and some nice swings for the kids. So the things that are really cool about this farm, sorry about the crazy camera work, like I talked about, it's really rough, and there's a lot of elevation change. So there's opportunities to maybe build a pond, a lot of opportunities for access, for getting in and out of hunting. I mean, you can see just right here, it just bails right off down in there. So anyway, and the one thing that I really like, right here, lots of rabbits. That makes my beagles happy. We've been up here running rabbits a lot the last week. So I've only done 2 things so far that I guess the only thing I've done that I haven't documented is put this cabin up. I did come in a few weeks ago, last time it snowed, and I planted 4 acres of switchgrass, 3 acres on borders on the west side of the farm, which we can show you on the aerial, in the north. That'll just provide a sight block for the deer, plus maybe some access down the side of it. Other than that, I just been waiting to get closed on it before I did anything. So now that that's done, here we go. So I'm gonna do the best I can at documenting my thought processes, the way we're going about things, how we're working on it, where we're at with it, and the things we're gonna do to it. So right now, I'm gonna take you over to the center of the farm. It will become just an amazing bedding area. It's got tons of south facing slopes. It's got a lot of room to clear out some brush, get more sunlight in there with some grass, and it's going to be real close to where all the food's going to be. So it'll be within 75 yards or 80 yards of a food plot, which is something that Frank and I has never been able to have in the past, is something where the food is actually that close to deer where they can bed and move in and out of there during the day, not just have to only come at night. So anyway, we'll head over there and I'll show it to you. All right, guys, well, now that I got out of the truck, I gonna keep my mask on for a bit. It's really cold. Like I said, it's -1 in the truck. When I got up here, it said -5. So I'm gonna show you this. I'm right in the heart of the farm right now. There's 12 acres of grass in the middle. You can see it on the aerial. You can see right now we're looking west. Now we're looking south. We're looking back east to where my truck parked, where we pulled in. That's where our little cabin's at. This is going to be the key part to the farm. Now to start with, we're going to have to do a lot of work up here this year to get this back tilled under and planted back in row crops for the agricultural part of it. So that's going to be our main focus. But once we get that accomplished, we'll be able to leave a bunch of food in here that we don't harvest. But we'll probably plant a lot of corn, because for this year, as you can see, I got a neighbor's house. We might be able to see on the GoPro, but it's about 400 yards that way, and then clear at the far end, there's one up there probably about 600 yards over there. So a guy will want to have some type of visual barrier, which the easiest thing for this year would be probably Egyptian wheat or some corn. But right here where I'm standing, you can see we got this nice ditch comes up here. The field's right over there. That'll be great access to come up. We could put a box blind here, have our food on this side or that side, and they'll come across. This is only probably 40 yards across there from where I'm standing. We'll provide a nice pinch with great access. This in here is what I'm most excited about over there. It's big south and east and west facing hillside in there, full of cedars, lots of places for sunlight. So what I'm gonna do to keep going here, I'm just gonna put you guys on time lapse, and we're gonna walk the farm and look around. You know, in the winter when there's snow on, it's a great time to scout, because you can see what the deer are doing, and a lot of stuff becomes more defined and pops out to you. Now, there isn't going to be many deer tracks up here, because a lot of these deer on the other end of the farm, where we hunt now, probably a mile away, because that's where all the food's at. So this will take a couple years to get it the way we want it, but I'm excited. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to speed things up. We're going to take off, and I'll stop you if I see anything we need to look at before we get to the bedding area. Man, I'm getting myself out of shape. Whew. Now I found something cool here I wanted to show you. I've been following these tracks throughout the farm. Come up this hill out of this big ridge over here. Bunch of south and east facing hillside here. Look what I found. Jumbo bed. I'd say I ran them out of there. It's still a little warm, but you can see. Look how far these deer can see from here on anybody coming. You can see forever. Wide open hillside, right? which allows all the sun to shine down in here. And the only reason they're laying here, because that laid down cedar right there is providing the side cover. So just thought that was interesting. This is a pretty cool spot on the farm. I'm over on the west side right now, which will be real hard to access, but I kind of slid over real quick because I seen these deer tracks. So you can see been a lot of deer coming in and out of there. There's plenty of opportunities up here in these cedars for a stand to hunt right here. So anyway, I'm gonna take a quick trip through here, check for some more beds, and mark them out as I go. That's the other thing I've been doing is I've been getting on Hunt Stand as I've been going. Every time I find a rub or a bed, I get on the icon and click it. I'm gonna have my map all marked up so that I can really see what I've got going on here when I'm all done. Maybe I can develop a pattern or something off of it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'll get back to walking. We're right in the heart of the bedding area, or what I assume is going to become a really good bedding area. This is the part I was trying to get to. I kind of got carried away walking. I absolutely love going out in the woods when there's snow on the ground. You can just see so much about how the deer are using it and what's going on. But right here is where we're going to start doing all the work in the next few weeks. I'm going to do my best to kind of give you a weekly or maybe bi-weekly updates. See what the guys want to do as far as editing, but that's the plan. So here we go. You can see in here, it's just crazy thick cedars, hedge, bunch of Russian olive I got to cut out, these nice big open trails. I came back here and seeded a lot of this in switchgrass, which I used cave and rock, which isn't the exact right stuff for this soil type from here down that way, but it'll be real good for erosion control, and it should come up. In here you can see big flat. This thing's probably 200 yards long, 30 or 40 yards wide in these cedars, and also down here on this south facing stuff, there's these big benches that sit down in here. Most importantly, what you got right there, old Mr. Sunshine. So right here is going to be a key part to the farm. You know, the cedars aren't necessarily great because they're getting big enough, they're not providing much side cover. But what they will allow us to do is have a lot to work with. And it'll also allow the deer to not be able to see out. We should be able to create like a giant bedding area in here. Not giant, but like 3 acres of good late season bedding, or any time of year bedding, that'll allow us to access around it, but never spook the deers. The guys that have hunted here for the past 30 years have had great success. I know them real well. Since we had EHD, the deer population on this in the farm's kind of been down. Hopefully it'll eventually come back. But just a great opportunity. I struggle with it because those guys had it for so long, and we've known each other our whole lives, and they just weren't able to make it happen fast enough, I guess, and it became our opportunity. So anyway, I know it's been a lot of me talking today, but that's what it's going to be. A lot of habitat work coming up from us this spring. We got a ton of work to do and not a lot of time to do it, because most importantly, kids, we got to start playing football in a few weeks. So we're back to coaching, be wide open. So it'll be a lot of late nights and long weekends. Anyway, you can see, look at that. Clear that Russian olive out of there. Nice bedding. There's the sun coming down. 3 or 4 acres of food out there. We're gonna have us something, boys. I'm just telling you. Girls, kids, everybody that's watching, stay tuned. It'll be a lot of work.